I've chosen a lesson plan about teaching students from kindergarten to grade 2 about going to places safely online. Right off the bat, there is obviously good pedagogical content in the teacher's plan. She asks the student to talk about places that they have visited on field trips and where they would like to go. This relates subject matter to the students and makes it more relevant for them, so they are more likely to pay attention. In this instant, I might use a projector or smart board to show field trip destinations in photos. This way, it would add to the SAMR aspect of the lesson in terms of substitution and also further engage the children. Next, the plan shows to show the student the video, My Online Neighbor. This shows good technological content, but not necessarily good technological pedagogical knowledge. Next, the class is defining the term website. And then the teacher explains that they can go to different websites and see places even though they are not actually there. The next activity involves the class choosing a site to either visit as a whole group or in small student groups around a computer. I would actually do both. First, demonstrate on the screen so that the students have something to model, and then have them try in small groups so that each student can actually apply what they are learning. The teacher is listed to invite a student or two into the role-playing activity in order to demonstrate what they have learned. However, this message only involves a couple of students, and many may not pay attention to the discussion. If available in the classroom, I would add in an interactive game on the smart board from the gallery, which would test the kids on the 3 rules that they have to remember. They must always ask their parent before going online, only talk to people that they know, and stick to places that are just right for you. It's important to note that the teacher brings up these points many times in the lesson, which definitely proves good pedagogical content. This way, the kids interact more with the content, and it adds pedagogical knowledge to the lesson plan if the interactive game is added. You could even make it a trivia race between two sides of the classroom. In the third section of the plan, the teacher has the students draw out their favorite part of the website that they visited. While this is good pedagogy for the students, it does not involve the SAMR model. One option would be to have the kids substitute drawing on paper with attempting to draw their favorite parts of the website on an iPad, if this is available for the class. Or you could augment the presentation and have the students share the part of the website that they liked over the projector. This way, other students can see multiple websites and not just the ones that they looked up. Finally, the teacher has her students answering the questions: what can the internet be used for? What rules do we have for visiting a new place in real life? And what rules do we have for visiting a place online? These questions demonstrate good pedagogical content knowledge, as the teacher knows what information should be gained in the exercise, and it helps the students review what they have learned one last time. I would not add technology to this section of the lesson, as it is still a very young group of students, and face-to-face conversation in class is very important. Overall, this lesson does deal with a lot of technological knowledge, as the teacher clearly understands the technology being used for this class. The teacher does fulfill much of the TPAC format, as they use quite a bit of technology in their lesson plan by going on websites with the students. However, it is limited because that is all they do. As I previously mentioned with the interactive game on the smartboard, this is something that can be remedied. Overall, this lesson addresses the SAMR model mainly with modification, as the entire lesson would not be possible or relevant without access to the internet. Having the students answer their wrap-up questions on the computer would constitute as a substitution component for the lesson, but as I said earlier, it does not add anything to the learning experience at this point, and is not necessarily a necessary addition. One feature we could add to the lesson is taking a short virtual tour of a possible field trip location. This would be an example of redefinition in the classroom, as this option was not possible to such an extent until recently. Many companies and attractions are using similar apps as the Facebook 360 to take interactive videos of different locations. This could be an amazing tool to show the students these types of places on a virtual field trip. They could even visit fictional places that have had these programs made for them, such as the Millennium Falcon. Overall, for what this lesson covers, it does a good job of following both the TPACK and SAMR models, while a few modifications could always be made.